Good evening. I'd like to start out with an introduction. My name is Jennifer Kirchberg. I am a Marketing Project Manager for Hazel and Betty Ford Foundation. And this evening I will be presenting to you my concept for a work improvement project that I have been working on and show you the development with it, my concepts, and as well as where I'm at in the process. And I will show you the design that I have created for this process. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let me just go to my next page here. The overview of my project, what I would like to do is to create something that uses resources that are already available. A lot of times we're working with limited budgets. We are a nonprofit organization, therefore I wanted to use resources that were already available to us without creating any kind of extra expenses for the company. So I thought about something that would be really useful that we use day to day within our workplace. And the first thought I had was to create a project launch meeting template form that we would use. And this would help us with notes for our meetings. It helps us set up meetings and put together what we need for each project that we're working on. This is an effort to increase efficiency, reduce waste, as well as rework. And this is one of our company's major objectives for the year, which is to eliminate excess waste and streamline our processes of the organization. Currently we put together meetings for each project, like I mentioned, and construct a list of deliverables as well as items of review for each meeting. This template will eliminate the need to construct these items of review or deliverables for the meeting each time that we're setting up the meeting. And that's how we had been doing it previously. We didn't have a template. We were just physically typing up each meeting's deliverables and overview of our meetings. We were just starting from scratch each time, and I thought there has to be a way to make this a little bit easier, fundamentally just to, use less time and less resources, not printing paper each time, or, we all kind of go about things a different way, each of us project managers. So this will, like I said, eliminate that need for the paper. And also it will help us to remember that all the things that we need to cover in our meetings and not miss anything that we may want to discuss and have to rework later and go back and ask questions that we could have covered in the beginning had they been on the template. So this will be something that could be used also in conjunction with our timeline that we have for our projects, which can be inserted later into this template, and it can be kept neatly and organized as a way to gain information later. If we need to go back and look at something, it can be added into our files so that we can save it each time once we have completed it. So I'll go to our next slide here. This is the organizational chart for the project. I am the implementator, the organizer of the project, and I will be developing the different concepts for the project and presenting them to my other team members. And then the other team members, as you can see here, there's 3 other team members that I'm working with on this project. And Dawn is my reporting supervisor, and she is the one that ultimately will decide if this is something that we will continue using or not. And her, along with my other 2 team members, will be reviewing this, and they have been using this the last couple weeks, and I just wanted them to see if the ease of use worked well for them, if there was things we needed to change or do with this project. So just go to the next slide here. And then this is my design that I had come up with for the template. And you can kind of see the different areas that there's different text fields, so you can type in, you know, your meeting notes. A lot of times we don't always know all the pieces ahead of time. We know most of it, but usually the meeting answers most of the questions that we have on something that we're working on. So this is an overview of everything that we know ahead of time, and then you can fill in later what you don't know. So it's kind of a before and after usage with our meetings. And so what's nice is this is an editable field, so afterwards if you need to remove something that wasn't used or before, you can do so and adjust the different text boxes, so that's kind of nice. So I'll go through the next slide here. And with thinking about this project, I was trying to figure out how I was going to measure the deliverables that I was putting together for this project. It's not something that generally creates data automatically. We don't generate anything from it other than our deliverables that we need for our projects. So I decided in order to measure whether or not this was a successful concept, I would do two things. I would use a method of a survey, and from that generate data in which I could put into a spreadsheet and a pie chart through Excel. So that's kind of ultimately my way of putting this together. And then once everything's put together, I will have this all put into a report. So this is the first part of the data collection, which is the survey that I had put together through SurveyMonkey. I try to make it really simple. We're a group that's very busy on a daily basis, and a lot of times we don't have a lot of extra time to sit down and do a lot of detailed side work like this. So I wanted to make it the ease of use, you know, really quick and simple, and yet cover what I needed to and get the data that I needed to from this project that I was putting together. So I devised 7 different questions. The 7th question is kind of an open field for any comments or feedback that they may have on the template, but it goes through just general questions about it. You know, how well does the template meet your needs? Do you feel it will save time? Do you feel it will eliminate rework and waste? Do you feel it will help the meeting information be organized? Is there any changes you want to make? And then it just goes through the open fields where they can type in anything that they want to add. And then going to the next slide. This is my milestone chart. So this will show you where I'm at with my project. Everything from the start of my project, which is at the top of the chart, to the bottom where I've generated my report from all my data findings. Right now I am about 90% done with the project. My colleagues are finishing up the usage of the template, and I have sent out the survey to them, so they will be taking the survey and they will have that back to me by tomorrow afternoon, end of day. And then from that I will generate the data findings. So we're getting near the end of the project, and so far it's gone pretty well. I have run into some technical issues with trying to get the template to work. We use Outlook all the time for our meetings and our notes and everything. So I had a little trouble trying to figure out how I could save it as a quick template that they could just plug into their notes when we generated our meetings. I was able to figure out how to save that template in there, and with a couple little hiccups, it's worked really well. And with the ease of a click, you know, they can add in that little template that I've designed and plug in what they need to. So by the end of the week here, I'll be able to generate those end findings of my project. So this is where I'm at with my project. I do feel that this really will benefit us, not only saving time for the company, but also, really saving rework and waste, which is our company's whole objectives for the year. And it's a really great thing. I think it's really made it easier putting together our meetings, and we're able to do so a lot quicker. So that is where I'm at right now. I appreciate you listening to my project, and I will appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much.